Thank you. One of the questions that I've been asked frequently the last couple of days is, did I arrange this weather? Yes. Okay. One of my friends told me that the inauguration will be like a wedding. Everyone will be dressed up. There will be music and flowers, and people will process down the aisle before the ceremony. In that case, I do. I want to thank the distinguished individuals who spoke today for sharing their thoughts. They remind us of what a special institution this is and what an awesome responsibility we're given by students, by their parents, and by the state. I'm honored to lead this university as we seek new heights, new achievements by our students, new discoveries by our faculty and staff, and a new commitment to the state. I have spent every day since arriving on campus learning as much as I can about the university, meeting the people who make it a center for learning and research, and discovering how we share their talents with the state, the nation, and the world. It has been equally important for me to get to know Kansas, to learn as much as I can about it, about its residents, and about the hometowns of our students. I've been to the State Fair and the State Capitol, to Rotary Clubs and Chambers of Commerce, and to a dinner attended by just about every resident of Grant County, and then some. I've spoken to superintendents and students, parents and alumni, legislators and citizens. I was enriched by these trips. They and you have helped this lifelong North Carolinian embrace Kansas as her new home. In my travels, I saw how proud Kansans are of their university and schools. And I learned that Kansas is bigger and more diverse than most people appreciate. It is a vibrant, forward-looking state, yet one where people value tradition and history. The wide, open skies instilled in Kansans a sense of optimism and a desire to look to the distant horizon, to the future. Walt Whitman, after describing what he saw from Mount Oread, wrote how such boundless lands would influence the people here. He wrote, "I wonder indeed if the people of this continental inland West know how much of first-class art they have in these prairies, how original and all your own, how much of the influences of a character for your future humanity, broad, patriotic, heroic, and new." More than a century has passed since Whitman wrote those words. Roads replaced wagon trails and crisscrossed the prairie, which itself was turned into farms and towns. Telegraphs and then telephones, and then the internet drew us closer and took much of the mystery out of our world. But you can still stand on top of Mount Oread and look out at the horizon and feel inspired. Inspired to learn, inspired to discover, inspired to reach for that distant point where the earth meets the sky. That inspiration is our mission. It is a mission that calls upon us to continue the proud traditions of this state and university, even as we look to the future. It is a future we see in our students and the discoveries that we make and in the lives that we change. The complexity of our modern world demands an evolved university. And the challenges that we face as a society demand an enlightened one. A university that uses the inherent good of education and research to meet the challenges of our time. Curing the diseases and illnesses that afflict so many. Creating prosperity so that we may eliminate the scourge of poverty. And studying our planet so that we may be good stewards of its bounty. Just as KU evolved from a single building with 3 professors, it must now continue to grow and change. That change is required to adapt to new technologies, new budget realities, and new expectations from our students and their future employers, and from our society as a whole. Our first change must be to better prepare our students, to prepare them for success throughout their lives, because our society will ultimately depend on those who will soon lead it. A college degree opens so many doors. I know that from personal experience and from watching countless students go on to do amazing things that were possible only because they earned their degrees. But too many of our students simply do not graduate. That costs them time, money, and esteem. It costs their families. It costs us as a university. It costs the state, and it costs society. To change this and to respond to the changing needs of our students, we must first do a better job of recruiting them. One of the things that I learned in my travels around the state, that there is still a lingering feeling in much of Kansas that KU does not do all that it can to persuade students who are eager for a college education that we want them here. We must demonstrate our interest in and commitment to college-ready students. That can come from aggressive outreach to prospective students and their families. People throughout Kansas tell me that we're doing a better job of being visible throughout the state, and now we need to match that energy with our recruitment efforts. Exceptional high school students throughout the state must know that KU wants them to be Jayhawks, and we're willing to do what it takes to make their educational dreams a reality. They must know that we believe that they can be the leaders of tomorrow. And like so many of our alumni who have gone on to change the world, we want them to launch their careers here from the heights of Mount Oread. Key to attracting these students is using our scholarships more strategically. Scholarships should be used to recruit excellent students, not just reward them once they're here. And our scholarships need to be more comprehensive in their size and duration if we are to compete with our peers. Once we bring students here, we must offer the tools and opportunities that lead to success. This can take many forms. An early warning system that identifies those struggling academically and which enables intervention before it's too late. Enhanced financial aid that alleviates the need to juggle school and work. And even simple tools, such as the way students go online and make sure that they're on track to graduate. We can simplify that task for them. Many of the tools that I've referred to are already in place at other universities. Indeed, we have an example on our own campus. Kansas Athletics has shown how academic support programs can lead to increased success by students, many from challenging backgrounds, and all with tremendous demands on their time. But it's not just a matter of adding tutors and increasing scholarships. We must also ensure that our academic programs themselves are responsive to the needs of tomorrow's students and the modern world. That starts with a renewal of our general education requirements, changing them to enhance learning while at the same time maintaining academic rigor. And I also want to note that our graduate students face many of the same obstacles. Graduate students play a special role in a research university. In fact, they may be the defining group at a research university campus. They're called on to be students, to be teachers, to be researchers, and they often have commitments outside of the university campus as well. We ask a great deal of them, and often we do not provide the full range of resources they need in return for what we ask. KU must systematically identify and eliminate the obstacles facing graduate students, especially since their success, the success of graduate students, is so critical to the success of our faculty, to the success of our undergraduates, and of the university as a whole. I make no assumption that this kind of change is easy or that it will happen quickly. But we can be under no illusion change is necessary if KU is truly to prepare students for successful futures. In addition to sharing knowledge, KU is also dedicated to the discovery of knowledge. Our research is an engine for growth, both of our minds and of our economy. It leads to new cancer-fighting medicines and new understanding of our society, to clean fuels and new, more effective teaching techniques. But in order to spur greater research, we must find new ways to assess how we are doing. We cannot simply count up the hundreds of millions of dollars that our research brings in and assume that this gives an accurate picture. Nor can we judge success simply by the number of products or companies our research produces, although both are substantial. That's why we need to create a comprehensive system for measuring research engagement at the university. I recognize that all the academic disciplines differ in some ways one from the other, but this will be taken into account as deans and chairs develop appropriate measures for their units. These measures will enable us to gauge research engagement over time, to compare units within KU, and also to compare our units with their counterparts at other universities. Such a system will help us to make scholarly work a more integral part of the university's culture and of the way we assess faculty and departments. Now, we don't just want to measure scholarly work. We want to encourage our faculty and staff who produce it. Deans will be asked to develop plans to support research and scholarly activities in their schools. That could include eliminating barriers to research or shifting responsibilities so that research-engaged faculty have more time to devote to scholarly activities. Every single day, KU faculty and staff make important scholarly contributions, from unlocking the secrets of Alzheimer's to preserving the religious history of Kansas. With this new commitment to scholarly work, we will extend the boundaries of human knowledge, making our world a healthier, more prosperous, and more enriching place to live. If we do this, and if we make the changes to our academic programs that will lead to greater student success, then KU will expand the horizons of its students, of the state, and of the world. We will give our students the knowledge they need to succeed in their careers and in their lives, and we will deliver the economic and societal benefits that come from a world-class research university. And we will ensure that Kansas is recognized around the world for its commitment to excellence in higher education. This university was founded by a people who looked west. at the vast opportunities that stretched out before them across this great continent. We must maintain that same optimistic and pioneering spirit. And though we face new challenges and a shifting world, our mission remains unaltered: to seek that singular moment when everything changes, when an abstract idea makes sense, when a great experiment leads to benefit for mankind. And we take as our inspiration the view from Mount Oread at that precise instant when the sun breaks the plain of the Kansas horizon to herald the dawn of a new day. Thank you for the honor of being your Chancellor and for the opportunity to share this new day with you. Together, we will use it to light, to create an even brighter future. Thank you.